Welcome to this Thursday night in the NBA, right here on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan. We've got Chris Webber and Greg. Hey, Dave.
Well, guys, Kimball.
David, he's come a long way. Thank you.
Yeah, Kevin, and last season, the Bulls making a deadline deal for Otto Porter. I mean, they were doing what they could to add to their youth core. They have quite a number of very young contributors.
And now the opening lineup for Boston. Tucker and Brown, they're manning the backcourt. Hayward at small forward with Tatum at the 4. And it's Tice in at the 5 spot. And for Chicago, Markkanen and Carter are up front. LaVine at the 2 with Porter at the 3. And it's White in at the point. And see Webb guys like LaVine and Carter, Markkanen.
Oh, what a shot! Did you see where he shot that from?
Oh, Sewell. Wow, crazy. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. And for a player that didn't come in with a lot of fanfare to the NBA, Markkanen is one of the top young players in the league.
Yeah, call him the marksman or the finisher. Call him Larry Bird, if you like. Fantastic stretch 4 who showed he could be a focal point of an offense, can play with an edge as well, and is just scratching the surface of his potential.
Tice kicks to Tatum. Walker the pass to Tice. And we have an intentional foul there, G.A. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange.
What the fuck?
I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
Dunn, he's checked in for the Bulls. On defense, the Bulls, it's a 3-point game. Hayward can't hit. Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. It didn't take long, Chris, before the Bulls started viewing Wendell Carter as their center for the future.
Yeah, about halfway through the season, he was on a short list of won't-be-traded players for the Bulls. It's not easy to find a big man that fits into the team as well as Carter does with the Bulls.
Now the Bulls with it. LaVine up top. He's covered by Brown. LaVine can't hit. And here's Tatum. He'll bring it up for Boston. And it's Brown missing.
Well, that's just enough to keep giving him that shot. Bad things will happen.
And the Bulls with another miss. Boston's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Hayward with the ball. Now guarded by Porter. Brown wide open. He fired. Off target from outside. For Chicago, they've gone 1 of 2 for the field to start this one so far. Dunn attacking. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. And you love to have a player like Chris Dunn out on the perimeter with his defense.
Oh, man, big men love guards that can actually keep their assignment in front of them. Dunn has quick feet, great lateral movement, and that's why he's a successful defender.
And the second free throw, good. Well, so many people were worried about Chris Dunn's offense after his rookie year, but you know what, Greg? He's turned it around.
And gone from struggling to hit 40% of his shots to shooting better from the floor. Still a strong defender, and he's making people forget that his offense was ever a question mark.
With the D playing soft off him, he might have been better off taking it to the hoop instead of settling for the jumper.
Outside, Markkanen. Pass to LaVine. No good with the triple. For Boston, they've gone 0 of 4, missing their first 4 field goals here. Tatum on the wing. Back to Tice. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. Chris Dunn picks one up.
Well, that's 3 straight German League titles for Daniel Tice. I mean, before he made his NBA debut at the age of 24, he's an athletic two-way player, and he's shown he belongs.
And last season, Daniel Tice shooting over 40% from long range, and Chris over 75% around the rim.
Yeah, Kevin, we call that great efficiency, both inside and out. A new contract this summer to reward his terrific play. Well, last season, the chemistry for the Celtics, well, to put it nicely, it was lacking. They had friction over playing time. Players pointed fingers. Marcus Smart said it. I mean, they weren't together.
Near the three-point line, it's Porter. Fires the jumper from the corner and nails it. Boston off to a slow start, trailing by 5. And Walker kicks to Hayward. Teardrop shot. That falls. Nice feed that time from Walker. And Chris, just an uneasy silence in the Celtics locker room last season. The bench really not celebrating plays. How do they regain that joy?
Yeah, Kevin, it's so tough when you don't have good chemistry. I think you start with putting the team first. In leadership, it starts with being a good follower. It starts with sacrifice.
Celtics trail by 3. On its way from Hayward for 2. Markkanen pulls it in.
He's forcing things a little bit in this quarter, settling for shots. He'd be better off passing up.
Porter finds Markkanen. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. Offensive rebound. From deep three-point range. Done outside. It's up a 3. Carter, the pass to Markkanen. Over Tatum. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Markkanen.
An easy pass turns into a terrible turnover. And that's a possession waster.
So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group. Thaddeus Young. He's checked in for Lauri Markkanen. Chandler Hutchison comes in for Porter. Valentine's checked in for Zach LaVine. And Satoransky subbed in for Dunn. Cantor checked in for Boston. Marcus Smart comes in for Gordon Hayward. Carter inside the three-point line. Gets the jumper from the corner to fall.
And this is the next step for Carter Jr. The more he makes this shot, the better his offensive game becomes.
Here's Walker. Inside, Cantor, and Cantor throws it down.
Oh, great flow to that possession. Two players totally in sync with each other.
And so Satoransky will bring it up for the Chicago Bulls. And off there, he misses his first shot of the night.
And they've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
Smart misses. Chicago leading. 1:35 left to play here in the first. Valentine shot, good. You played for a lot of different coaches in your career, Chris. I'm sure you saw characteristics that you like in a head coach with all the different people you played for.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely want coaches that challenge you, that want to make you better, that helps with the team chemistry. But I would say, number one, you want a coach that understands they are such a good coach that their job is to infuse you with as much information during practice, and then come game time, they trust you to go out and do your thing. They don't micromanage during the big games. They say, wait a minute, we put enough practice time, you know what we should do, now go out there and execute. The ones that trust you, you gotta love it.
Right.
Yeah, just a simple one-hand flush.
I think he got a few more inches on his vertical by going with the spike. Hutchison passes to Satoransky. And Boston with the rebound. And here's Walker outside. Sinks the triple. Walker's got 5.
And Walker is what we call thirsty. He's thinking of firing as soon as he gets the rock. Great presence of mind from the point guard.
Here's Satoransky. Out to Carter, to the paint, stolen by Cantor. And now with the fast break, Smart with the ball. Satoransky grabs the miss.
I don't think the D does good enough here, but something causes the miss.
And again, Chicago, no good. And pushing it up, here's Boston. Tatum leading the charge.
That savvy move by Tatum. He's not just running the floor, he's running with the purpose of exploiting a defensive weakness.
And here's Valentine for 3. That shot off the mark. And we reach the end of the first quarter. Celtics lead by 4. From the United Center in Chicago. Back in a moment. Gordon Hayward reunited with his college coach Brad Stevens. He said they go way back.
Our relationship started when I was in high school. He came to my morning workouts and really recruited me at Butler and was kind of the first guy that I think believed in me that I could make it to the next level.
And I'm sure, Greg, that relationship played a big role in Hayward deciding to join the Boston Celtics.
And not just a connection, but a respect. Hayward now a veteran in this league, while Stevens has moved into the conversation for one of the better young coaches in our league.
And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter of action so far. And what do you guys think about Boston here in this one?
You got to credit their defense, communicating, rotating, making plays on the ball.
No question. It's been stifling thus far, preventing that offense from establishing any kind of rhythm.
They've got Young. White is out there with Harrison. And it's Hutchinson in at the small forward. That's the Bulls 5 as we get into the second quarter. Moves on moves. That's Jason Tatum.
I mean, this guy's a natural isolation scorer. Jab steps, crossovers, turnarounds, fadeaways. He's got an awful lot in his bag.
Here's Cornette. He's off on that one. And the Celtics going the other way now. Side, Smart. Williams. Good, and Smart gets the assist. And now it's an 11-point Celtic lead.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
He has a chance now to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, the Chicago Bulls continue to be a team in rebuild mode. They traded for Otto Porter at the deadline last season, and that seemed like a turning point. It lessened the logjam in the front court, and his versatile game fit well with some of the young players. Now that they've added rookie Kobe White and other moves this summer, fans are eager to see this young team take the next step. Kevin?
And David, they've got some pieces too. Thank you. Celtics leading by 10. Down low. Here's Tatum. And after an incredible rookie season, Jason Tatum back to earth just a bit, Chris, in year 2.
Oh, yeah, all that talent. Tatum getting to the line 6 times a game. That's how you put pressure on the defense.
The Celtics shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game. That free throw, no good.
Yeah, and the Celtics had their issues last season, Kevin, but in the end, they lost to a super team. I mean, the East has just gotten better, led by Toronto and the Bucks. That's the big challenge for Boston.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Markkanen, he's checked in for Young. And it's Otto Porter Jr. in for Chandler Hutchison. Right side, Porter. Over Hayward. Porter, no luck. Well, Chris, with LeBron going to the Lakers, many picked the Celtics to rule the East. Now that road is less certain.
Oh, yeah, because the East has gotten good. Let's think about it. Philly, Toronto, the reigning champions. Also, it's just, you know, and don't forget about Boston. I mean, but they have the talent to play with anyone. Now it's a matter of maximizing that talent and becoming the best version of themselves. I mean, it took him a long time to get into the flow of the game, but the points are starting to come for him.
Here's Wanamaker. Makes it off the glass. And the Celtics lead by 12.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Lets it go from the wing. Rebound by the Celtics.
And guys, not sure where his head was on that shot. Not what this offense was designed to create.
Come on, you can't be selfish. You got to be willing to make the next pass. Otherwise, you're just predictable.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
From deep. Out of bounds, Boston takes possession. Levine's checked in for the Bulls. Dunn comes in for White. The Celtics also changing it up. Daniel Tice is checked in for Robert Williams. Enes Kanter comes in for Jason Tatum. And it's Brown in for Marcus Smart. And it's the Celtics ball. They're on a 16-6 run. Here's Wanamaker. Dunn covering. From 18 feet away. Count it. Wanamaker's got 8. And just over 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. Here's Dunn. And again, Chicago. No good. Boston leading by 16. Brown with it. Now defended by Levine. It's off his foot. And they're saying he kicked the ball. Wendell Carter, he's checked in for Chicago. And the Celtics also making a change. Walker's checked in. To the middle. And he dunks it down.
Offensively, defensively, they are in total control.
Starting to take over here, building a big lead that could ultimately prove insurmountable.
With 3, Levine. That's in. Coming off an assist from Dunn. Levine's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
Well, Jim Boylen, he won the Chicago head coaching job after his interim stint. The fans were unsure of the hire, but the front office believes in him moving forward.
Bryant is what from deep. Dunn misses.
And the well is running dry for him right now. Nothing falling.
Yeah, he just hit a rough patch. He's trying to climb out of it, but it hasn't been successful.
And a wide open look for Porter. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Porter's got his second basket. And for Boylen, Chris, he's been a bit demanding on his roster.
Yeah, Kevin, it's going to be tough. He's tasked with molding this young Bulls core. I mean, the front office wanted a hard-nosed coach. They believe they found their guy with Boylen's approach.
Dunn dishes to Levine. Carter with the 3. And Boston with the rebound. Here's Hayward. That one falls. Hayward's got his second basket of the night.
Yeah, and I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders.
Dunn outside. For 3, Levine. It's rebounded by Tice. Tice has got 4 rebounds in this game.
He has shot them in the foot with his inability to make shots tonight.
And it's Brown missing. Bulls trail by 14. Now here's Porter. He's got 5. With 3, Levine. Basket made. Just his second this contest. He's 2 for 7 now.
Man, the triples keep falling, guys. That's 3 in a row.
Walker with it. For the 3. And again, Boston with the triple.
Oh, you know Walker isn't going to let you get away with that. I mean, hit one on me, I'm coming back at you.
And the first half is now in the books. Celtics out in front, leading by 14. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Here with head coach Brad Stevens. Coach, what did you think was the main edge you had?
Well, I thought defensively we were a lot better, and then that led to some offense. But obviously, we're playing a bunch of skilled guys, and we're able to spread the floor, and that's helpful.
You have to make them work at both ends. Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, folks. Ernie Johnson here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. It's the NBA on 2K Sports, and let's talk the first half. Boston found themselves in a close game in the first. They did jump out to a lead in the opening period, but 4 points was the biggest they got. The second quarter got a lot more exciting. And that's a wrap for our halftime show, the third quarter.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. We've seen Kemba Walker really having a great game.
You just love the patience in that first half. Waited until he got the look he wanted.
Yeah, working the ball, getting clean, quality looks. I mean, just efficient basketball through and through.
Chris, the NBA has flattened now the draft lottery odds. And now that you've seen it at work, seen it in play, any additional changes you might make?
Well, you know, Kev, it's still a wait and see for me. I definitely like the NBA making sure they try to address the problem. You never want a team to think that they can be rewarded for losing. So I like what we've done so far, but, you know, if I'm a GM, if I'm a president, I'm always going to try to find ways to manipulate and find that, you know, those open gray areas. And so I think this is something we're always going to have to address, but I love the fact the NBA has gotten ahead of the problem.
Well, like the Clippers of a year ago, they look like, gosh, they've lost all their superstars, but they gave it such a great go. They actually made the playoffs.
Yeah, and it started from the top. I mean, Mr. Ballmer said, listen, we do not want to lose. We're going to go in and we're going to play hard. And I tell you what, I think that's what rewarded them during free agency by able to go out and recruit players and say, listen, we don't lose here. We just need you to take us over the top. And I think that's a pretty good recruiting thing.
Our second half of basketball and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. On the court for the Celtics, Hayward at small forward with Tatum at the 4. Tucker and Brown, they're manning the backcourt. And it's Tice in at the center position. And here's Tatum. He'll bring it up for Boston. Here's Brown. Whistle blows. Bucket is good. And he'll have a chance at the line to make it a three-point play.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
And for Jaylen Brown, part of the challenge last season, especially with the return of Gordon Hayward, was meeting the high expectations, Greg, in a reduced role.
Competition for minutes, and then early on, he struggled. We all see the potential, but it's really about seizing the moment every time you're on the court. Well, with all the youth the Bulls had, the team wanted to bring in some veterans over the summer.
Yeah, and that's something that needed to happen, G.A. I mean, the team has some room in free agency to fill out some leadership roles, but in Chicago is still a major market, and vets would love to come and play for the Windy City.
Hayward can't hit. Bulls trail by 19, and let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, there's not a lot of NBA players who come from Finland. Now there's Lauri Markkanen. Before him, there was Hanno Matala, who was actually Lauri's high school coach. Markkanen is soft-spoken and family-focused, but he says everything starts from basketball. All the decisions I make are based on if it helps me on the basketball court. Kevin?
Terrific attitude. David, thanks. To the inside.
Efficiency. I mean, that's an area where Walker has improved. No need to force it. Keep your eyes up. Make the right basketball play.
Outside, Markkanen. Over Tatum. Markkanen can't get it to go. Boston leading by 21. Tatum drives in. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new